President Trump has fired the acting attorney general who resisted his executive order and replaced her with Dana Bente, the former U.S. attorney from Virginia's Eastern District. We're told he was sworn in at 9 p.m., just 45 minutes ago. CNN Sarah Murray's at the White House, has more from there. What are you learning, Sarah?
Well, Anderson, I think it's clear the president acted very quickly when he saw that the acting attorney general was not going to follow through on defending this travel ban. We have been waiting. We know that there were staffers at the White House who were in meetings deciding how to respond to this. Obviously, they decided to make a move late tonight and sort of relieve her of her duties. Now, I think it's telling to look back at what Sean Spicer had to say, the White House press secretary, in his briefing today. He was at the time being asked about State Department officials who did not agree with Donald Trump's travel ban and essentially said either they should get on board or get out. And that seems to be the view the administration is taking. Now, obviously, we know Sally Yates was probably not going to be on very much longer. She was an Obama appointee, and they are waiting for Donald Trump to have his own Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, confirmed and in that position. But if you are a critic of Donald Trump, whether a Democrat or a Republican, I've heard from a number of people saying, why has the president moved so fast with a number of these executive orders without having his own team in place? And they particularly were pointing to the travel ban and the Attorney General, saying you're leaving yourself open to criticism with really no one to defend you. And I think we saw the ramifications of that play out tonight, Anderson.
It is interesting, Sarah. I mean, whether it's by design or just, I don't know what the strategy is or if there is a strategy, but it certainly is kind of flooding the zone. It certainly is moving from one thing to the next. And if Donald Trump was elected to stir things up, to drain the swamp, to change Washington, I mean, you could see the idea of just executive order after executive order after executive order being attractive to him and Steve Bannon.
That's certainly right, and that move will give some members of Donald Trump's team more heartburn than others. There are certainly a number of people on Donald Trump's team who are hearing from people, look, you need to slow down, you need to focus on one big thing at a time. That is not how Donald Trump wants to run his show. That is not how Steve Bannon wants to run the show. And it's worth noting that Steve Bannon in particular seems essentially immune to a lot of this criticism. He's used to it. He thrives on chaos, and Donald Trump is sort of similar. He also tends to thrive in a chaotic environment, and I think when they look at these days, at the end of them, they're saying, look, we knocked out a couple of our big campaign promises each day. We are living up to what we promised voters. I think the question is whether they are just throwing too many things at the Washington establishment, if you will, or Congress in particular, for them to digest at once. Remember, just because you have 53 Republicans in the Senate, just because you have majority of the House and Senate, doesn't mean your party has to stick with you on every priority.
Right, but
I think that's what the risk they run.
I'm not going to turn right now to Jeff, but I would imagine what Jeff would say and what a lot of supporters of Donald Trump would say is, you know what, if Washington has some indigestion, that's maybe not a bad thing at all. In fact, that's why he's there.
Well, exactly, and that was their sort of goal coming into the White House.
Right. All right. Sarah Murray, thanks very much.